bottom line. Flow, Canteen, hot
Moving to
take,
baseball.
JKO.
Statman can give us the stats, baby.
All right, guys. When we look at the baseball, the season right now, the American League. Right now, we have the American League East. The Yankees are at 88 and 63. I see Jake is getting very, very excited, ecstatic about that stat. But the
That time of the year.
The Orioles are 84 and 67. They're only 4 games behind. But when you look at the rest of that division, man, you have the Red Sox at 13 games behind, the Devil Rays at 14 games, and the lowly Toronto Blue Jays at 16 games behind. But as we move into the American League Central is much more competitive. We have the Guardians at 87 and 65 at the top of that division. We have the Royals at 82 and 75 games behind. We have the Twins at 80 and 71 at 6.5 games behind. We have the Detroit Tigers at 79 and 73 at 8 games behind. And I will not disclose how many games behind the lowly Chicago White Sox are. We will leave it at that, gentlemen. We will leave it right there. I think
Go ahead and do it to him. Give it to him, Ken, because I can tell you right now, I can vouch that he's got some plans tonight and he will not be listening to the show right now. Or maybe
okay, so the lowest Chicago White Sox are 36 and 116. They are 51 games behind.
5 games away from breaking the record, people. 5 games away from breaking 120 losses. That is all that they need in the next. What is it? How many games have they played again, Ken? What do you got there? What's the record?
They're 36 and 116.
36 and 116. That's 152. That means they got 10 games.
God, that's
left.
bad, bro. That
10
is
games
bad.
left. Lose 5 games. And believe me, that is only 500 winning percentage, and their winning percentage on the season is 235. That's less than 1 out of every 4 games. So anyways, continue, Ken.
All right, the American League West, we have the Astros at 82 and 69. The Mariners at 77 and 74, 5 games behind. And everybody else in that division, the Rangers are 10 games behind. The Oakland A's are 16 games behind. And the Angels are 21 games behind. As we move over to the National League, man, as we said earlier this year, at this point, the Phillies are 91 and 60, top of that division of National League East. The Mets, Omar's lowly Mets, are 83 and 68, only 8 games behind. So they are in contention for a wild card. Am I right or wrong, Omar? They're in contention for a wild card. The Braves.
Not only are we in contention, but I'm not going to attack you like Flo does, but I am going to say we passed your Braves up, buddy. We passed your Braves up. We are 2 games up on the Braves in the
right. And so the Braves are at 10 games behind. The Nationals are at 23 games behind, and the Florida Marlins, Miami Marlins, whatever you want to call them, they're at 56 and 95 with 35 games behind. All right, so as we move into the National League Central, the Brewers are top 4. Everybody else, the Cubs, 10.5 games behind. The Cardinals are right behind them at 11 games behind. And the Reds are 13.5 games behind. And the Pittsburgh Pirates, 71 and 80, 16 games behind. Now, as we move to the National League West, it's a tight, close race. The Dodgers are 89 and 22. The Padres are 86 and 66, 3.5 games behind. The Diamondbacks are 84 and 68, 5.5 games behind. Giants 16 games behind, and the lowly Colorado Rockies are at 59 and 94. We're in the home stretch of the baseball season. Omar, I'll let you take it from here.
My brother, I appreciate you. Thank you for those stats. Just to back you up on a couple things there. As you mentioned, Hot Takes Jake Yankees have passed up the Orioles. They are 7-3 in their last 10 games. The Orioles are 3-7. So you can see the dichotomy there, and one team is going one way, the other is going the other way. We'll see if that continues. Obviously, we still got 2 weeks of play left in the pennant race for the Orioles to turn it around. They're still going to make the playoffs. They should at least. He has a wild card nonetheless. But the Yankees have taken a 4-game lead on them in the division. Following that up, the Brewers all but have the National League Central locked up. So they're good there. And a similar situation in the NL West that we had in the AL East. The Dodgers all but have that locked up like the Yankees, but the Padres should still make the wild card, and possibly the Diamondbacks. So you got that there as well. And hopefully my Mets. I'm not going to lie. I hope so. The Astros, what a turnaround. We have to talk about the Astros turnaround. They started the year as one of the worst teams in the league. They were below 500 for most of the first quarter of the season, and now they've made such a run that they are actually up in the division now, on top of the rest of the AL West by 5 games. And last night there was a pretty crazy incident where Jose Altuve, their star for the Houston Astros, was ejected from the game when the umpire thought he was trying to show him up. Yeah, he pulled his sock off.
For proving himself right. Now, I'm not a fan of the Astros, Omar. Not to cut you off, but that's ridiculous.
No, please.
When he's showing you the literal proof. See, this is what frustrates me with these umpires. They get their ego strucken and they think that they have to control something. It's getting ridiculous, Omar. I'm tired of it. If you're wrong, man. Come on, man. Oh.
I agree completely. I couldn't agree more. The refs need to get over themselves. These umpires, you're not the star of the show. No one paid a ticket to come see you. Do your job. Try not to make mistakes because that's all y'all freaking do. And just handle the game and do your job. Don't worry about other people. Jose Altuve is not trying to show you up. He's just trying to prove that he has a bruise on his foot from where he got hit with the ball that you called a foul ball and cost him almost the game. Now, luckily, they came back to win it in extra innings. But anyways, Ken, do you have any thoughts on that?
As I said, man, as we move into the brink of the baseball season, man, I think it's getting down to the nitty gritty, man. I really, really hope that his Yankees, do what they do. But like I said, I'm excited to see what the end of the baseball season is going to do, man. I really, really hope that your Mets, perform and show up. But I don't foresee anything coming great from the Braves, man. I think it's really a rebuilding season for the Braves, man. They had a lot of injuries and different things like that. But, man, I'm anxious to see what's going to transpire in the next few weeks, man.
That is, I mean, you hit it on the head. And I'll come right to you, Jake. You hit it on the head. That it's the home stretch, and like the Mets have one of the toughest schedules. They actually end up playing the Atlanta in a 3-game series at the end of the season. And so that it'll be a pretty crucial series. But you're right, Atlanta had way too many injuries this year. What's up, Jake? My bad.
No, what I'm saying is, I remember you saying it last year, Omar. With the Yankees being hot right now, do they look like the dangerous team coming in? You always say, if you're starting off hot right when the playoffs start, and you saw that they're 7-3 the past 10 games, does it look like a championship is in the rise? And the New York mother trucking Yankees got a chance for the pennant, man. Oh.
Yeah, I mean they have a better chance than most people in the league. I mean, in the AL, it's looking like right now, obviously the top 4 we have there, but with the Yankees, like you said, having momentum, if they can continue this for the next 2 weeks and say go 20-5 over the last 3 weeks, then I would have them as a favorite and definitely a World Series contender. But you never know what happened in 2 weeks. 2 weeks is a long time, and everything flips script, so you never know.
All right, we excited.
Shout out Elias, thank you for tuning in.
Shout out, bro.
Our brother from another here at the bottom line. We appreciate you tuning in. Go Dodgers, he says. Flo says lose, White Sox, lose. Talking that junk about Clubba D's White Sox. I'm sure he's not going to take too kindly to that. I'll have to ask him his thoughts later. And then finally, Flo caping for the Snakes, the Diamondbacks. So we'll see there. They've got momentum too, so they're a team to have this as well. Cool. All right. Well, that is your baseball update. Again, we got 2 weeks left in the season, so it is going to be a whale of a good time. Make sure you tune in and make sure you're watching those games.
The hunt for October is coming soon, man. Let's go.
It is.
Oh, yeah, these sports seasons are getting longer and longer, which does not bother me at all. I love sports, so it doesn't bother me. But the World Series is actually ending in November this year, early November, the first week of November.
After Halloween.
Bottom line, Flow, Canteen, Hot Take, Jake, and O.